Well, hello, everybody. We did it again. Another week under our belts. Welcome to Fire Your MD Now, the Friday edition. Some numbers you need to write down and keep on your refrigerator. Keep them on a Post-it note on your desktop. Keep them handy somewhere, wherever it suits you best. To call me directly during the show, toll-free from anywhere in the U.S., it's 866-582-9933, 866-582-9933. One more time, 866-582-9933. Remember, this show is here for you. I already know all this stuff. I better know all this stuff. I'm doing this show for you. This is an information dispersal engine. I am an information dispersal engine. I am the blue pill that will pop you out of the medical matrix, that has you befuddled, bedazzled, and in pain and suffering. If you want to find a way out of the maelstrom of modern American medicine and the insanity of incorrectly prescribed and managerially prescribed synthetic pharmaceutical drugs and inappropriate surgical techniques, then give me a call. I'm going to give you 23 years of clinical experience for free. I'm going to tell you my opinion, my perspective on your illness from the holistic perspective, the holistic vantage point, which can give you knowledge that your MD is completely unaware of. That's why this show exists, 866-582-9933. Now, if you're trying to call us during the show and you can't get through, or you'd like help with ordering, or you'd like more specific help, I have associates standing by. You can call them during the show and for 1 half hour after the show. Here's the number to call for ordering help and for help with a specific problem. If you want to speak to one of my associates directly, that number, again, toll-free, 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. That's also the number you want to call in order to schedule a private consultation with me. And in order to learn about the prerequisites for that and the different rate structures that I have, please visit fireyourmdnow.com. That's fireyourmdnow.com, and click on the appointment tab. Again, that number for ordering help or to schedule an appointment with yours truly, Dr. Glidden, 855-347-3696. And finally, if you'd like to listen in to the show, don't have an internet connection, need to dial it in from your telephone, from your cellular device, from your landline, that number is 760-569-7756. That's 760-569-7756. Once more, 3 is the charm, 760-569-7756. And as always, 24/7, you can visit my website at fireyourmdnow.com. You can click on a link for a number of the videos I've produced. You can click on a link for my blog. You can click on a link to join my longevity army of grassroots coalition members that we're forming all across the world, quite frankly. We've got distributors in Canada. We've got distributors in Mexico. We've got distributors all around the place. The lion's share are in the United States, but this is an international company, and it is growing quickly. The Longevity Corporation is the largest, is the most rapidly expanding network business in the world right now. It's growing in record volumes. We're breaking all kinds of records every month in this type of an economy. And that's one of the reasons why we're breaking records, because the economy stinks. Everybody's out of money. Everybody's looking for a way to generate residual income. Well, we have it. For a one-time $10 membership fee, you can become a member of our team, and we will show you a tried and true method, which works like a charm. It's as predictable as gravity. To spread our message, to show your friends and family and church members our message of health recovery through medical nutrition. Now, I say it all the time. If you can pass the driver's license test, you can learn to become a successful longevity distributor, and we need the help because people in this country are suffering needlessly, dying needlessly, for one reason and one reason only, lack of knowledge. Every time I read the newspaper, every time I turn on the internet and click up, MSNBC or Fox News or ABC.com or wherever I go, I am inundated 24/7 all the time with information about health that is filtered through the MD lens. If you went to the department store and bought a pair of blue-colored sunglasses, right? Blue-colored sunglasses. Or you want to emulate Jack Nicholson, right? So you go and you get those red sunglasses. They're little lightly tinted red sunglasses, kind of a rose hue, and you wear those. And you forgot to take them off. And you just continually wear them. They're on your head all the time. Go with me here. This metaphor breaks down easily, I know. But if you had rose-colored glasses on all of the time, you would forget that you were looking at the world through a particular filter. Everything that you saw would look red. Everything would be tinted red. Everything that you looked at all the time would be tinted red, and therefore you would not be looking accurately at the world. Your vision of the world would be colored, but because you've forgotten that you put the glasses on, you wouldn't know that your vision of the world had been colored. That's exactly the way it is with medicine as it's delivered in the United States. It is all delivered through the MD lens. All of the research is done through the MD lens. All of the reports that they do on the CBS Evening News and the ABC Evening News about autism and about cancer and about arthritis and about this, that, and the other thing is all through the MD lens. And the MD lens is all about drugs and surgery all the time. That's what it's about. Perfect example. We talked about this yesterday. It's an important subject. I want to spend 3-4 more minutes on it right now. Obesity. The MDs have gotten it completely backwards when it comes to obesity. From their pea-brained, rose-colored glasses, reductionistic medical model, from their view of the world, obesity is the patient's fault, and it is a disease of excess, right? People eat too much, don't exercise enough. Oh, it's got to be a bad gene. Your stomach's too big. Whatever. They've gotten it completely wrong. Obesity is not an illness of excess. Obesity is a deficiency disease. The only reason that people overeat is because their bodies are nutritionally starved. The only reason that their bodies are nutritionally starved is because they have listened to MDs and clinical nutritionists who were taught by MDs for advice about how to eat healthily. The 10 foods that people eat most of the times are bad for you and will create net negative nutritional loss and net negative health effects. And here they are. You can download this list for free at fireyourmdnow.com. Wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Wheat, barley, rye, and oats. What do we eat all the time? We have Wheaties for breakfast, right? Breakfast of champions. We have pancakes for breakfast. We have bagels. We load up on the carbs because some knucklehead told us that was a smart thing to do. What do we have for lunch? We have a sandwich. What do we put on the sandwich? We put deli meat that has nitrates added as preservatives into it. Nitrates turn into nitrosamines. Nitrosamines are carcinogenic. We also have mayonnaise on the salad, mayonnaise on the sandwich. Mayonnaise, when taken into the body, is a rancid oil. It is an oxidized oil. It promotes inflammation in the blood vessels and promotes the deposition of cholesterol in arteries and veins. We don't have any salt because some knucklehead told us a low-salt diet was essential for health, and it's absolutely positively wrong. If you're on a salt-restricted diet, your body will not be able to digest food properly because your stomach needs salt to have strong and healthy stomach acid. What do we do for dinner? We have pasta for dinner, right? We have rolls with dinner. We're going to have, maybe if we're lucky, we'll have meat. But if we cook the meat well done, or it has those, charred grill marks in it, those charred grill marks, or the well-done protein in that meat, contains a chemical called a heterocyclic amine, which is carcinogenic, pro-inflammatory, and will hurt you. Maybe we'll have French fries. Maybe we'll have stir-fried vegetables. Maybe we'll have some type of fried food. Sometimes we're even going to have a fried dessert, for goodness sake. Fried food contains a chemical called acrylamide. Fried food is extremely hazardous to your health. If you just stopped eating all fried food, zero tolerance for fried food, you would add between 5 and 10 years to your life expectancy. And there are countries in Europe that are going to put warning labels on fried food the same way we put them on cigarettes. My point here is simple. We do all the wrong things all the time for our health. We eat all the wrong foods all the time because we paid attention to MDs who don't know anything about nutrition, and we're getting sicker and sicker because of it. One of the other bad effects of so here are the 10 foods: wheat, barley, rye, and oats, oil in a bottle, fried food, well-done red meat, nitrates added as preservatives to meat, the skins of baked potatoes, yams, and sweet potatoes, the skins of baked potatoes, yams, and sweet potatoes. You can eat the skins if you boil those things, but not if they're baked. And last but not least, any bubbly beverage with a meal. All these things need to be avoided, and we wash down lunch with Coca-Cola, with soda pop, with Perrier, wash down dinner with champagne all the time, and it's killing us. Well, maybe not all the time, but it's killing us. We do all the wrong things all the time because we have leaned on the wrong medical profession for advice. And even though this ship is sinking, we don't recognize the problem because it is such an overarching problem. The problem here is not you. The problem here is not science. The problem here is the medical industry that has been completely monopolized by the MDs to such a gigantic extent that you don't even recognize it's been monopolized. You know, you've got the glasses on. Everything looks red. Everything looks nice and rosy. Take them off. The MD perspective is one small perspective on the greater science of medicine. Now, when you want to really get to the root cause of what's causing arthritis, the root cause of what's causing obesity, the root cause of what's causing high blood pressure and fibromyalgia, where are you going to go? You got to go right here, ladies and gentlemen. Fire your MD now. I mean it with all my heart. What you can do right now with science-based, clinically verified alternatives to drugs and surgery. And let's go right to the phones. Al from South Dakota, I think, has a question about kidney stones. Hello, Al.
Well, I forgot I told you I had Klinefelter syndrome, and I've had to take testosterone for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And so I was wondering, is there anything else I can take? And I also get kidney stones on an annual basis. Yeah,
kidney stones on an annual basis. Well, in order to help the testosterone work, your diet needs to be, I'm not going to say high in cholesterol, but you don't need to be shying away from cholesterol because all sex hormones, including testosterone, are made from cholesterol. So you need the raw materials present to help your body generate its appropriate levels of hormones, and especially if you're injecting hormones into the body. If the body has the raw materials present, then you're going to get more bang from the injections. You know, you might even be able to cut it down 50% because you're going to get as much work out of it.
So what I would recommend,
yeah.
Am I going to have to take the testosterone pretty well the rest of my life then?
Well, you know, because of the Klinefelters is a built-in genetic thing, like the color of your eyes. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, that's just the roll of the dice, right? And this is one of the good things. You know, one of the things about medicine, modern medicine, that's good. I go out of my way to bash the MDs as much as I possibly can because, number one, they deserve it, and number two, nobody else is doing it, and number three, it's the truth. But, you know, drugs are like guns. It's the drug isn't the problem. It's how it's used. You know, testosterone is a drug. It's been turned into a drug by the pharmaceutical industry, and someone like you can really benefit from testosterone use. I would experiment with different forms of it. They have a brand new testosterone that you apply under your arm. That's very interesting.
I tried that. It gave me breathing problems and even made my headaches worse. So.
All right. Well, all right. So one of the things that my patients experience almost across the board is once they stop eating food that has net negative effects on their health, and they provide their body with all of the raw materials that it needs. They fill up that nutritional tank with good, high-quality nutritional supplements dosed according to their body weight. Then all of the enzymatic switches in your body turn on. And, you know, most of us, we've gotten used to feeling like crap. We've gotten used to running on fumes our entire life. It's kind of like we've been stuck in a smoky restaurant forever, and we stopped smelling the smoke. Now, you take the supplements, clean up your diet. It's like going outside. And then you come back into the restaurant. Oh, my God, is it smoky in here, right? It changes everything. So when your body is nutrified appropriately and you've left off the bad, quote-unquote, foods from your diet, the prescription medicines that are necessary for you to take on a daily basis often have a more dramatic, more pronounced effect. But one of the things you're going to want to look to see with your diet is I would be increasing eggs and butter. Really great sources of cholesterol. I'd have 2, 3, 4 eggs every day. I'd put butter on them, and I'd put table salt with iodine in it. That's what I would do if I were you in order to increase the effectiveness of the testosterone. Now, the kidney stone. Again, the kidney stones, the MDs have gotten it completely backwards. 2 plus 2 does not equal 5. It equals 4. If you say 2 plus 2 equals 5, well, guess what? You're wrong. Kidney stones, a medical doctor will tell you, are caused by too much calcium in the blood. Kidney stones are caused by not enough calcium. When you consistently don't have enough calcium in your bloodstream, the parathyroid glands on the side of your thyroid secrete a hormone which yanks calcium out of your bones. And the body's funny because, it doesn't have everything dialed in 100%. So if you're calcium deficient on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if you're calcium deficient every day, after a while, the parathyroid gland is going to give up. It's going to dump all of its hormone into the blood, and your body is going to remove massive amounts of calcium from the calcium stores all the time, way more than it needs, just because you have been so consistently chronically low in calcium. And this, of course, gives way too much calcium into your blood, which floods your kidneys, clogs the kidneys, which is why over 90% of kidney stones are calcium carbonate. I'll tell you how to fix it when we come back on the other side of the break. Again, kidney stones are one more reason to fire your MD now. Welcome back to Fire Your MD Now. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, taking your phone calls. Now, remember, if you'd like help ordering, if you'd like us to hold your hand and walk you through the ordering process, tell you what to take, how to get them at the wholesale price, we have associates standing by right now. That's 855-347-3696, so give us a call. You can also check us out live on the web 24/7. Well, we're not live on the web, but you can check out the web 24/7, fireyourmdnow.com. Now, we're talking to Al here. Al, if memory serves me correctly, you had a problem with osteoarthritis, you were allergic to seafood, and you had chronic cluster tension migraine headaches. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. See that? I listen, Al. See that? I listen. I pay attention.
I wish I'd known you 20 years ago.
Yeah, well, that's exactly the point, Al. That's exactly the point. This is why we do this radio station. That's why my colleague, Wallach, Dr. Wallach, set his company up as a networked business. Because guess what? We wish you knew us, too. We wish you knew us, too, because if you'd have known us 20 years ago, all this nonsense would have been taken care of. It riles me to no end. Man, I tell you what, if you sat behind my desk just for 1 week, you would be in tears, seeing the massive amounts of human suffering caused by just one simple thing, lack of knowledge. But I digress. Now, kidney stones, interestingly enough, because they're caused from chronic calcium deficiencies, are related to the osteoarthritis and the chronic cluster tension migraine headaches. Imagine that. Nothing new under the sun, right? Everything's connected. It's another arm of that octopus. Now, Al, I'm glad you called me back, because I was thinking about your order. I was thinking about what I told you to do yesterday after we hung up, and I've come up with a less expensive and I think better program for you, okay?
Okay.
So here's what I would do if I were you in order to support and promote the health of your kidneys, support and promote the health of your bones and joints, and your to help with the headaches, okay? So per month it would be 2 bottles of something called Ultra Body Toddy with Cell Shield. Ultra Body Toddy with Cell Shield, 2 of those a month. I want you to take 2 ounces twice a day of that, 2 ounces twice a day. And you can mix that with anything you want for taste, okay?
Okay.
3 bottles of something called Cal Toddy, C-A-L toddy, 3 bodies of cal toddy. That's a very important thing for you to take, the cal toddy, because it's an extremely absorbable form of calcium, magnesium, and a bunch of cofactors that your body needs to suck that calcium up and put it to use. I want you to take 1 ounce of the cal toddy 3 times a day. And I either want you to put that in a little bit of orange juice or just plain water. I don't want you to drink any of this stuff straight. I want you to mix it with a little bit of juice or water to dilute it.
Okay.
And if the Ultra Body Toddy gives you loose stool, then I want you to dilute it a little more and take a little longer to drink it. Initially, I want you just to throw 1 ounce down, put 1 ounce in about 3 ounces of water, and just chug it down. Do that 3 times a day. But that could be too concentrated a dose, and if it is too concentrated a dose, you'll get, loose stools from it. So if that happens, dilute it a little more, and instead of just shooting it down, take 10, 15, 20 minutes to drink it down, okay?
Okay.
Now, next thing would be a encapsulated supplement called Glucogel. And the Longevity Company sells the Glucogel in the 120 count. It also sells them in the 240 count. You're a big boy, and because you have both osteoarthritis and the kidney stone thing, you need to get 4 bottles of these. I want you to get 4 bottles of the 240 count a month for 3 months. And I want you to take 8 of them 3 times a day. 8 with breakfast, 8 with lunch, and 8 with dinner. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not that much. And finally, I want you to get some selenium in your body, because the selenium will help all of this to get laid down better and faster and more efficiently. If you get 4 bottles of selenium a month, that's 4 capsules of selenium 3 times a day. 4 with breakfast, 4 with lunch, 4 with dinner. 8 of the Glucogel with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 3 ounces of the Cal Toddy a day, and 2 ounces of the Ultra Body Toddy with Cell Shield. I want you to do that program, plus leave off all of the bad foods. And I want you to call me back after 4 weeks and tell me what happened live on the radio show, all right? We can have a little relationship here on the radio show. It'll be good for you. It'll be good for the listening audience, because they will be able to see your progress week by week, and I think that's a good thing. So check that out, Al. Give me a call back in 4 weeks, and, of course, in the meantime, if you have any questions, don't be shy. Sound good?
Okay, so yesterday you wanted me to take, like, the healthy bone and joint. Forget about that then?
Yeah, no, this is a better, less expensive, more efficient program for you, and it'll produce better results.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right, Al, I appreciate the support. Tell all your friends about us. We're here for you, your community, and your family and friends. I think we have Joe from Wichita, Kansas next. Joe, how's it going?
Pretty good, Dr. Glidden. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Thanks for calling. What's on your mind?
I was going to take the ASAP product.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I've heard you the first time the other day on Alex Jones' show, and I usually do a little bit more research. And I was trying to figure out what to take with the ASAP when you're first starting out with trying to put your body back where it needs to be nutritional-wise.
All right, good. Well, you're the smartest man in class, because you're right. The ASAP all by itself doesn't just cut it. And this is why the ASAP people teamed up with the Longevity people. Longevity Company actually, what's it called when one company buys another? We acquired them, right? The Longevity Company acquired ASAP. It's a good relationship, because they had what Longevity didn't have, and Longevity had what they didn't have. Now, weight gain is a deficiency disease. There was nobody in Auschwitz that was overweight, right? If you don't eat, you lose weight. I don't care what your diagnosis. I don't care what your pre-existing condition was. I don't care what your race, your nationality, your age, or your sex is. If you do not eat, you lose weight. The only thing that makes people gain weight anywhere in the world is they eat too many calories. The only thing that makes people eat too many calories is their bodies are nutritionally starved. And your body has awareness. Your body has wisdom. Your MD does not know this. When your nutrient tank starts running on fumes, your central nervous system freaks out, because it knows it needs selenium and essential fatty acids and calcium and sulfur and magnesium and vitamin A, B, and C. It knows it needs all these things to keep your brain and your heart healthy and your kidneys. It needs these things to keep you going. So now you're running on fumes. It freaks out. What does it do? It makes you eat. So you go to Olive Garden, you eat 3,000 calories in one meal. 2 hours later, you're starving again. Why? Because you're lazy? No. Because your stomach's too big? No. Because you have a fat gene? No. Because you have the wrong doctor. The only reason you're starving again is because the food that you ate at Olive Garden didn't have the stuff in it your body needed. The food that we're eating today does not have the nutrients in it that the human body needs to stay healthy. It does not. Everybody is nutritionally deficient unless they are supplementing their diet with the 90 essential nutrients, which is why Longevity calls its health recovery program 90 for life. Because there are 90 essential nutrients, right? We got to take them every day for the rest of our life, just like you got to drink water and breathe air, and the products also support your life. So in addition to the ASAP product, how much do you weigh, Joe?
200 pounds.
All right, 200. How tall are you?
5'11".
Okay, so how much weight are you looking to lose?
When I first started out, 170 was a pretty comfortable weight. If I got down to 160, man,
okay,
Mom
so you're
probably tell me I'm getting a little bit too skinny.
all right, so you're looking at 30, 40 pounds, right?
Right.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me at 5'11". I'd be happy to see you at 170 pounds. So here's what I'd like you to do initially. For 1 month, I just want you to take 2 healthy start packs and 2
healthy
start packs, and 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals. I want you to order 2 healthy start packs and 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals. I also want you to go, and that's it. I don't want you to start the ASAP program right away. I want you to give your body those nutrients every day for 30 days. All right?
Okay.
Now, if you go to fireyourmdnow.com, at the very bottom of the left-hand column, there's a little link that tells you how to take the Healthy Start Pack. It says, confused? Click here to find out how to take the Healthy Start Pack. It's a free document. You can download it, and it'll tell you how to take the Healthy Start Pack. In addition to that, I also want you to download, again, the free document, Good Food, Bad Food. It's right there on the same website on the front page.
Yeah, I read through that list.
All right, you got to stop eating all those foods, man. You got to stop.
Pretty crazy on oatmeal.
I know. Well, that's why you're overweight.
Everything you ever heard, you know.
Isn't it crazy? I know.
It is crazy.
Welcome to my life. I know, right? Yeah, I'm like the guy that's walking around telling everybody back in Christopher Columbus's day, hey, the earth isn't flat, right? Everybody's going, well, what the heck are you talking about, man? Everybody knows the earth is flat. I know, it's crazy. But look, just by stopping those foods, I don't care, man. I don't care if you take any of these supplements at all. If you just stopped eating those foods, you'd lose 10 pounds. You just lose 10 to 15 pounds, boom, just by stopping those foods. But if you add the nutrients and stop the foods, man, you're going to love how you feel, all right? So we're going to do this in steps. You got to leave off all of those foods. You got to take 2 healthy start packs a month for 1 month.
Okay.
And during that month, I want you to look to see how much food you're eating every day. I want you to start counting calories, all right?
Okay.
So start counting calories, and I want you to figure out what 1,200 calories looks like. Because starting on month number 2, I want you to do 2 healthy start packs and a 1,200 calorie a day diet. 1,200 calories a day. The first month, I just want you to get comfortable doing the 2 healthy start packs and not eating any of those 10 bad foods. That takes a little bit of getting used to. Just take 4 weeks to do that. Okay. Month number 2, we're going to kick it up a notch. We're going to do exactly the same thing we did in month number 1 and in month number 2. I'm going to have you dial in every day a 1,200 calorie a day diet.
On month 2.
On month 2, right, plus the 2 healthy start packs, okay? Plus the good food, bad food. I mean, this good food, bad food diet's for life, man. You know, I mean, it's just for life, okay? You got to get used to not eating these foods for the rest of your life and tell everybody in your family about it, too, for goodness sake. Now, month number 3, if you're still if you're still not at your target weight, you can do the ASAP program. But I'm going to bet you 25 cents you won't need to, because 30 pounds is not that difficult a number to approach. If you needed to lose 130 pounds, I'd say do the ASAP program, but I don't think you need it, man. All I think you need is the Healthy Start Pack, a couple of Healthy Start Packs a month, and the Good Food Bad Diet, and then dial in a 1,200 calorie a day diet. Man, you're going to love how you feel. Even just by stopping eating those foods, you're going to love how you feel, and you're going to see a difference. And also, I'd like you to be a poster child for weight loss here for the listening audience. So I want you to call in every 2 weeks, right? It's going to be Joe from Wichita, Kansas, a 10-minute segment. I want you to tell me and the listening audience your weight and how it's going for you, all right? Gentlemen, I believe we still have Joe with us calling in from Wichita, Kansas. Is that right, Joe? You had one more question?
Yes, I wanted to ask you something. It goes along with the minerals and why I believe in what you got going on. My son, when he was born, he was 2 months old. He started to have like a rash around all the openings of his body, around his eyes, his nose, his whole rear skin would peel.
Yeah.
And they thought it was like, we went to the doctor, they sent us to the dermatologist, and they thought it was eczema, and started treating him for eczema and cirrhosis.
Yeah.
And they said that we kept going on for a couple of months, and we had to take steroids for him to get better. And it was really severe around all the openings, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen it. I've seen it a lot.
So anyway, the dermatologist calls in another doctor from India. The Indian doctor comes in, and he says, I want you to take his blood, you know, right now. They called my wife back at home and said, you have to come back in, you know, immediately. She had to get a prescription for zinc. And his zinc level was at 10. And then the body, I guess, is supposed to be 75 to...
That's correct.
140 or so.
That's right.
And they were really worried about it, and they really didn't treat my wife very nice. You know, they kind of kept pushing her off. And we went through this for 2 months, trying to find something work. We were giving him baths and tar. They had us doing all kinds of stuff.
Right.
And anyway, nothing was working, only the steroids. And so at this point, we went to the pharmacy, which we didn't know at the time. We had to go to a compound pharmacy to have that zinc made in its finest form, you know?
Yeah.
And he was taking like 30 milligrams of zinc, and within 3 days, his skin was healing up. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? And you had to figure all that out on your own, right?
Yep. Well, pretty much. The doctor from India saved my son's life. He said that the doctors here aren't familiar with it. They said in the 80s women didn't do the prenatal care that they do now in the United States, but he knew it because he sees a lot more overseas. But the trick was my son was like 100% weight and height, which whatever they measure that by, and they didn't see it in him. But the Indian doctor, they said that what happens if his body ran out of zinc?
Well, if his body ran out of zinc, he'd die. Zinc is an essential nutrient. Yeah.
That's what they said. They said his hearing, his vision, his hair he looked like an old man. You know what I mean? He was going bald.
Yeah.
And it took about a year before.
What's his hair look like now? Is his hair unusually white, or does he have streaks of gray in his hair?
No, he don't have any gray or anything. His hair finally started to grow normal, but we were giving him, every day 30 milligrams of zinc.
Okay. All right. Well, good. Yeah.
And he started to come back, you know.
Yeah. This is a great story because, number one, it underlines the fact that MDs in the United States have no training, no clinical experience, no appreciation for medical nutrition, right? And if you just don't know what you don't know, and so they're going to be they would have treated this kid forever with steroids, and he would have died, for goodness sake. And so here comes the Indian doctor who has a clue about nutrition, and bingo, there it is. But there's one more thing you need to understand, Joe. Nobody is ever just deficient in one nutrient. Nutrients run in packs. And the reason that people are deficient in nutrients is because, especially in things like zinc and calcium and copper and selenium, because those are minerals. Zinc is a mineral like calcium. And
Right.
there's only one place that we can get minerals from, and that's the soil. So if the soil that the spinach or the corn or the wheat is growing in doesn't have any zinc or calcium or copper or whatever, well, guess what? There's not going to be any in the food. And this is the root cause of multiple nutrient deficiencies, is unbelievably poor soil quality. So if your child was extremely deficient in zinc, 5 will get you 10 that he's extremely deficient in a number of other minerals as well. But rather than doing thousands of dollars of expensive laboratory tests in order to dial in exactly what his nutrient deficiencies are, what do? We give the body everything that it needs all of the time. 1 healthy start pack and 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Dial that in for your son and watch him improve even more. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. It's another week is over. Where does the time go? Next week, brand new format. It's Testimonial Tuesday, Wacky Science Wednesday, Celebrity Interviews Thursday, Show Me the Money Friday, and a week from Monday, new products and new health issues. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for holistic health. See you next time.